More and more judges are getting out of line, and it's going to be up to the federal government to put them back in their place. As a judge, you're going to have to stay in your lane. It is not a judge, a court district judge, or any other judge to pretend that they have ultimate say so and can tell the president what to do. We did not elect a judge to be our commander in chief. We elected Donald Trump. So the judges are now, it appears to be going rogue and trying to set standards that no one, they cannot enforce. See, the federal government can say certain things and make declarations. A judge cannot. A judge can say, okay, you can't do this. Okay, judge. Okay, who's going to stop me? You and what army? Judges do not have a military. The federal government does. So the judges are just basically wasting their time and making themselves look stupid. This is what they're trying to say that is going to happen in Northern California. Take a listen.
Migrants cannot be arrested at immigration courthouses in Northern California. The judge says detentions are not justified in those cases and have discouraged people from going to important hearings to complete the process to try and stay in the U.S. legally. The judge says arrests at the courthouse do not protect the public. This ruling applies to courthouses in ICE's San Francisco jurisdiction. That includes immigration courthouses in San Francisco, Sacramento, and Concord. Under the Trump administration, there have been more than 100 documented arrests, at least at those courthouses.
Now, let's see here. Any officer that tries to uphold this judge's order and go against the federal government will be committing committing financial suicide because they will be fired and they might be arrested. Do not throw your career away over some idiot activist, ideologically radical judge. These judges understand that these people are being weaponized. These are also judges who are liberal, judges who are gay, but they're on the bench. This helps their own political big picture bottom line. They need the illegals. They need the criminals. That's why they let them out of jail. And it's crazy. For the first time in my life, I'm watching judges and law enforcement work against each other when historically they've been working in tangent with one another. That's not the case anymore. So when these judges are making these blanket statements, oh, you can't arrest them at a court hearing, says who? Says who? They shouldn't be going to court hearings. They should have already self-deported. Now, if they want to go to the court hearing and make their case, that's fine. But you will have to make your case from your home country as intended. We have a remain in Mexico policy, and that's going to be the law of the land again. You cannot make your case while you're still here. That's like somebody who's caught shoplifting after asking if they could pay for the items after the fact. You've already committed the initial crime. We're past that stage now. You're going to have to return home. Now, if we deport you, you can never come back. You're banned for life. But if you self-deport, we even give you a little bit of money to start over again while you're reapplying for citizenship here. If you don't respect that, then that's too bad. That's our laws. You're going to respect our laws the same way you're going to go back to your home country and respect their laws. And you're never going to even dream of protesting. You're never going to dream of getting on the internet and say anything bad about your president. You're never going to criticize how law enforcement treats you when you get there or the lack thereof. You're not going to say a fucking word. All the smoke, all the vitriol that you have is solely for the United States because as Americans, we've tolerated it. We've allowed it. We're tired of it. We don't enjoy having ungrateful people around us 24/7. We just don't. So this judge, a federal judge in San Jose, has ordered ICE to halt arrests in courthouses. First things first, a federal judge doesn't order ICE. The president does. It's not his place. They face either getting arrested for trying to follow the law or are not showing up to court facing automatic deportation. It doesn't matter. We'll come find you. You're going to get picked up one way or the other. You want to spend your whole time running and then eventually get caught, or do you want to self-deport, be responsible, consider your family, and do the right thing? You're no longer welcome here. The best thing to do is for you to leave. Bunkering down and saying, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that, you're just wasting your breath. And these judges are trying to enable you, but the judges aren't about to get themselves beat up or thrown in jail to save you. You're on your own. So, and this is Judge Casey Pitts, and they ordered the stay on Christmas Eve and the limited ruling is only for the San Francisco region, which goes all the way out to Concord and Sacramento, kind of like further west. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the Bay. Sacramento's not the Bay, and neither is Concord. I don't know. It's Northern California, but this is only just for their small region. But it doesn't mean anything because once we're there to arrest people, the judge cannot do anything. The judge does not have an army. The judge doesn't have a military. The judge doesn't have men with guns willing to die for him. They don't have it, so they don't have any power. Everything they're saying is ceremonial. We humor it when we're not in active times of war. This is war. We've been invaded. We're fighting back an invasion. And it's insubordination if you're fighting on the side of those who are the invaders. Well, now that's treason, in my opinion. The circumstances present non-citizens in removal proceedings with Hobson's choice between two irreparable harms. 38-page ruling. First, it may appear an immigration court and likely face arrest or detention. Such a deprivation of physical liberty and detention constitutes irreparable harm. I just disagree. Americans have to do the same thing. We're given a summons to go to court. What if you know you're going to go to prison once you go to court? What if you know you're going to get convicted? Should you just not show up and go on a run? That's the logic of this fucking idiot judge who has to deal with Americans every day. So what are you telling Americans? Because we got to keep everything equal, right? Because illegals and citizens, we're all still equals, right? So you're telling Americans to show up to their court dates, even if they know they're going to jail and face the consequences. But you're suggesting that illegals who are also facing getting arrested in the same consequence should not show up. How does that make any goddamn sense? Why should Americans show up knowing they're going to prison, but illegals should not, knowing they're going to be arrested and deported? It doesn't. You're not consistently logical, and that's the problem. And that's why they're not going to be taken seriously. And then people keep sharing these articles. It's like they want to see these judges embarrassed. They want to see this. It's like they're like demoralizing these judges, and because these judges have no say-so, they have no army. There's nothing they can do to enforce their words, and we only enforce their words at the liberty of the federal government and our law enforcement. We could just say no and just completely go against you, but we try to have a system. We try to think we have checks and balances. We want the appearance of a unified front. But if you force us to show you that you're actually on our page and we're not on each other's pages, then we will. So again, these judges are going to, hopefully none of these cops are dumb enough to let these judges write a check that his ass cannot afford to cash. Do not try to stop ICE or any law enforcement agents for enforcing the laws against certain people but you'll allow it to happen to other people. That's not fair. You know, if you're a black or white American, you can still be arrested and sent to prison. But if you're an immigrant that's over here illegally, you're supposed to be above the law. Judge, go to hell disrespectfully. Do me a favor. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. Like and subscribe. I just wanted to do a quick episode about this so that people send me these articles like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, it doesn't mean anything. The judge doesn't have an army, but Trump does. We got a big one, big army. So if they want problems, they can have them. But these judges they're all talk. They don't really love these immigrants. They're not really trying to protect them, because if they would, they'd give them better advice. The best advice you can give these immigrants that are here illegally is to comply. Comply with our request for you to self-deport, take the money, get the hell out of here, and take your kids. There is no other options, and we're not negotiating. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. And remember, America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.